a much anticipated match, Real Madrid versus Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final. The last one that happened was in 2014, and Real Madrid won that one. And then the one previous to that one was in 2011 when Mourinho beat Pep Guardiola, took away the treble too.
Yeah,
bro.
I know.
So this is gonna be a good one. You know, we don't really see a final Barcelona versus Real Madrid for some reason in the Copa del Rey. So yeah, bro. I mean, let's start with the lineups. Let's go with lineups first, and then we'll talk about.
I like that jersey though, bro.
I know. Huh? Let's talk about the lineups. Let's go in detail with the lineups because I kind of want to talk about Real Madrid's lineups too. So for Barca, let me give you my lineup and then and then you'll tell me where you'll tweak and where you'll change and whatnot. So I will go with Szczesny, of course. You know, this thing is back too.
Yeah.
But I will go with Szczesny first as goalkeeper. Right back Koundé. Center backs Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez.
Okay.
Left back I will go with Gerard Martin because he's been playing more, I think, than Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Up in front of those two, I will put De Jong, Pedri.
Okay.
And then I will throw as cam either Fermin or Gavi.
Who do you start though, Gavi or Fermin?
I will say Gavi, bro, because I think Gavi, he's more cool-headed when it comes to the final third. Fermin, he kind of rushes a little bit too much, and I think against a team like Real Madrid, you need to take your chances.
Yeah.
So I think Gavi, for me, he's more cool-headed. He likes to play these games too. Gavi, you know, he's a dog when it comes to against Real Madrid.
He doesn't like Vinicius.
Yeah, so that's why I think I will go with Gavi right there, bro, and then I will go with and then let's not forget Gavi also started against the Clásico final for the Super de Copa.
Yeah.
He cost a penalty. So I will put Gavi to my left. I will put Rafinha to my right, Lamine Yamal, and then as a false nine, I will put Dani Olmo. I will not start Ferran Torres, and as a matter of fact, I think that Flick may not start Ferran Torres because he played him almost the whole game against Mallorca.
Yeah.
So and he threw in Dani Olmo as a sub. So I think I have a feeling that he may not even start Ferran Torres.
Okay.
And I think he shouldn't, bro, because I think in this kind of games, like I told you, players need to take their chances. And to me, Ferran Torres, yes, he can score you a goal coming off the bench. He can score you a goal, but then he misses like 5 more chances. So that's my starting lineup. But what do you think about that starting lineup?
You know what, dude? I agree with it actually. I think that will be exactly the same lineup I will go. Martin, Cubarsí, Inigo, Koundé, and then obviously Pedri, De Jong. I'm also gonna go with Lamine Yamal, Gavi, Rafinha, false nine, Olmo. Only thing is, I think, and I agree with you, no Ferran Torres to start, maybe as a substitute, yes, but I also would like to see Ansu Fati. So if he doesn't play with Gavi, I wouldn't even mind seeing Ansu Fati, Rafinha, and Yamal behind Olmo. Because honestly, dude, I've been telling you this, right? I've been wanting to watch Ansu Fati because I think Ansu Fati in those small pockets, bro, he is really good, and that's something Barcelona have been missing this season.
Yeah,
because you can see it with Olmo, you can see it with Pedri, you can see it with Lamine Yamal, you can even see it with Rafinha, but sometimes Lewandowski has legs, they're not there anymore, you know? Yeah. So he kind of does tend to struggle in those quick 1-2s. But yes, I agree with you. I think that that's the same lineup I will use. If not Gavi, Ansu Fati. That's it.
Now, let's go to the lineups for Real Madrid, because I kind of wanted to talk about Real Madrid's lineups. Because, you know, they also have, like, major injuries.
They do, yeah, they do, bro.
So,
I guess I think Camavinga got injured, too.
Yeah, Camavinga got injured, which I think Ancelotti was planning to use as the left back. So now he can't use him as the left back. I think he's going to use Fran
Garcia?
As the left back, yeah. So then he has, I think what he's going to do, he's going to go with, most likely he's going to go with Lucas Vázquez as right back. I think so, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I think he's going with Lucas Vázquez as the right back, and I think the center backs, I think he's going to be Rudiger, and I think Alaba, right?
Asensio. I think Alaba's injured too.
Oh, okay. So he can go with
Rudiger and Alaba.
So then he's going to go with Rudiger, and then he's going to go with Asensio, right? As center backs, and then left back, he's going to go with Fran. Because I think, like you said, Alaba is
injured.
Is injured, okay. And then I think, this is what I was going to tell you, that I think Ancelotti, he's not going to play with the 3 forwards.
No?
I don't think he is, bro. Because I think if he plays with the 3 forwards, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Barca are smashing him. Because they cannot afford to leave those open gaps, bro, with those 3 forwards.
They don't run back,
they will leave a lot of open gaps in the middle. And against a team like Barca who would love to play in the middle, bro, you can't do that. So I think he's going to go with 4 midfielders. I actually think he's going to go with Valverde as a right middle.
Okay.
Tchouaméni.
I think Tchouaméni's injured, though.
Oh, Tchouaméni's injured?
I think Tchouaméni is injured, bro.
No way.
Yeah, he got injured against Getafe. I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Ancelotti said that Camavinga and Tuchamendi are pretty much ruled out. But let's just say, maybe I'm tripping, let's just say he's not injured, Tuchamendi playing, right? Okay.
So I think he's going with Tuchamendi, Ceballos.
Okay.
And I think he's going with Bellingham and he's going with Valverde. And I think the reason why he's going with those four midfielders is because Bellingham can go as a number 10 in the middle. That can separate Mbappe, that can separate Vinicius when he does that. Which can essentially create three forwards, when they're attacking. And when it comes to defending, they have more midfielders to actually defend. That's what I think he's going to do. So I'm really curious to see how Ancelotti sets up his team, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, I'll be happy if he plays with the three forwards. Because I think them playing with the three forwards, bro, creates so many open gaps in the middle that I think Barca can exploit.
Yeah, dude, I agree with you because you know what? I was seeing the game against Getafe for Real Madrid, and they leave a lot of open gaps, bro.
They do, bro.
They leave a lot, and I agree with you
too, right?
Yeah, bro. I mean, you know what? I'll say it again, right? People went ahead and said that we were tripping. That how can we go ahead and choose, Arsenal over Real Madrid? But it's simple, bro. They didn't watch they had probably weren't watching the Arsenal's, gameplay during the season because they put, again, 5 against City. They put 3 against Man United. And I think they did lose against Liverpool, but they played a really good game. Or if not, I think they tied out.
I think people were just kind of going based on the history, bro. They were like, oh, Real Madrid's history, club pedigree is going to be too much for Arsenal to handle. But, at the end of the day, bro, it's like you got to look at the teams that they're playing. And if you look at Real Madrid, and I've always said this throughout the whole season, I've said, right now, the way Real Madrid play, all you need is a team that's well-organized in defense, has a pretty decent middle, and they can create chances against Real Madrid.
They struggled against Getafe, bro, because Getafe came out playing in the first 10 minutes. They were actually playing pretty well. But I think that, Real Madrid got the best of them. But, yeah, I agree with you, bro. I think that I don't know about Real Madrid's lineup so well, to be honest, because I don't know if Tuchamendi is for sure injured. I know that Camavinga's injured, and I know that Alaba's injured.
If Tuchamendi's injured, then that changes a lot.
Yeah.
I think he has no choice but to go with the 3 forwards. But if Tuchamendi's not injured, I see him going with the 4-4-2 for this game because
you have Vinicius and Mbappe up top.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, bro, Ancelotti, he's a players manager, right? Well, he likes to be cool with the players, but his job could be at the line. His reputation could be at the line with this game. So, are you really going to go ahead and prioritize Rodrigo's feelings over your reputation?
I think that Ancelotti, in my opinion, I think Ancelotti needs to find a place on this game for Arda Güler. I like Arda Güler, bro. To be honest, ever since I saw him in the Euros, Barcelona wanted him, but he chose Real Madrid overall.
I can see why.
I think that Arda Güler has the abilities to kind of succeed at Real Madrid. With that being said, I feel that Ancelotti should find a spot for him. But let's just move on from the lineups because I really don't know how. I am curious, but I don't know how Real Madrid is going to line up with Ancelotti, right? But what I did wanted to ask you is predictions. What do you think? Barcelona wins or Real Madrid wins?
So I think and this is one thing that I'm not really liking, dude. I'm not really liking that Barca have a favorite tag.
Okay.
I don't really like it.
Do you think they actually have a favorite tag right now, though?
I think they do. A lot of people are talking about smashing. A lot of people are talking about smash.
We smash you, brother.
Yeah, they're talking about smashing Real Madrid again, but I kind of don't like it, bro, because it gives me like 2010 to 2000 memory, those vibes, where. Going into the final of the Copa, I remember people were talking about a smashing, bro. Like, Pep Guardiola was going to go and school Mourinho again. It was going to be another 5-0. Easy. Because, they had beaten Real Madrid 5-0 at home in a Clásico, the first Clásico.
La manita.
The fight. But then look what happened. Real Madrid and Mourinho, they took the treble away from Pep Guardiola, his second treble. They took it away from him. And they won with the Cristiano Ronaldo header. So, and yes, true, at that time you had Cristiano Ronaldo, who, in my opinion, he's a game changer like Messi was. But
I think Real Madrid overall as a team
were better.
And even individual players were better than this current Real Madrid player.
True. But then again, that Barca team was way better than this Barca team too.
I agree with you.
So it's kind of like, it kind of like balances out at the end of the day, right? So that's why I'm kind of telling you that I don't really like it, bro, because, and it's another Clásico that comes into my mind too, is I remember on the Tata Martino.
Yeah.
There was a
Tata
Clásico.
Martino, bro. Come on, Tata Martino.
Yeah, well, there was a Clásico, bro, at the Bernabeu.
Horrible coach.
I don't know if you remember this Clásico at the Bernabeu. Messi's hat-trick with the 2 penalties.
No, I don't remember that one, to be honest.
So, Messi scored a hat-trick at the Bernabeu with 2 penalties, right? But Barcelona were not going good into that Clásico. Real Madrid were doing good, but Barcelona were not. People were talking about that Real Madrid were going to smash Barcelona. It was going to be like a 4-0.
It's because the Clásico is a Clásico, bro.
But that's what I was going to tell you. And then what happened? Barcelona won 4-3. Barcelona won 4-3 with a Messi hat-trick. So that's why I'm telling you that when it comes to a Clásico in a game like this, especially a one game like this, and in a neutral stadium, you know, where basically both teams are away, right? Barca's away form recently has not been that good either. They lost against Barcelona 3-1. So that's what I'm telling you, that I kind of don't like, you know, the favorite tag and people talking about that they're going to go and smash Real Madrid. I don't think so. I don't see it happening. But I do think that Barca are the better team right now. I do agree with that. This season, Barca have been way better than Real Madrid. So I believe that Barca are going to beat them, but I don't think that Barca are going to walk all over them like people are assuming. But with that being said, I do think Barca are going to win. But I don't think Barca are going to win by a significant amount. I think it's going to be by 1 or 2 goals. I also will not be surprised if we see extra time. And if there is extra time, I think Barca can win in extra time.
PKs?
But if it goes to PKs, I think Real Madrid win in PKs, bro.
Yeah, because Lamine Yamal is kind of not that good at shooting PKs.
Yeah,
bro.
I think in PKs, I think Real Madrid take it. But in the first 90 minutes and extra time, I think Barca can take it. Yeah. Like I said, I think Barca are winning, and I'm going to go just because I think Barca right now are better than Real Madrid and they're playing much better than them. I'm going to go with Barca just because of that. But, you know, like I said, in the Clásico, bro, in my opinion, there's no favorites.
I agree with you, bro. When it comes to the Clásico, you know, I think that your ego and your, you know, you being biased kind of comes in. Because obviously we're Barcelona fans. We want Barcelona to smash Real Madrid all the time. But with that being said, is, you know, we're also, I think, realistic. You know, it is a Clásico. Real Madrid is not the easiest team either. You know, they're Real Madrid as well. I think that's the reason why it makes it out to be a great match, you know. It's a very highly anticipated game that I really want to watch. I agree with you. I can't say that for sure Barcelona is going to win 100%, but I do think that Barcelona will win. That's my prediction by 1 or 2 goals. With that being said, I am very curious to now see that if Ancelotti, let's say, does lose this game, right? Because I kind of want to go into this example, right? The same way we kind of talked about El Cholo Simeone, right? With Atletico de Madrid, right? Real Madrid, they got smashed 5-1 versus Arsenal, right?
Yeah, which could have been 5-0.
Yeah, they got smacked around.
Because that goal was given to them for free.
Yeah, they got smacked 5-1 against Arsenal. And I'm pretty sure for Real Madrid fans, they're upset about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
You know, okay, so you get beaten 5-1 by Arsenal. You lost.
That's cool too.
Yeah, you lost the Super Copa de España against Barcelona, right? And then you come into this Clásico, and let's say that you lose. Do you think the Real Madrid fan base, do you think the Real Madrid media, do you think they're gonna put, because let's not forget, they've already put pressure when Ancelotti got eliminated from the Champions League, bro. They wanted Ancelotti's head. They wanted him out.
Yeah.
But let's just say that if he does lose this final against Barcelona, do you think the Real Madrid fan base gets rid of Ancelotti, whether if it's now? I don't think it's now. But do you think they get rid of him at the end of the season?
So I think it depends how. So if Ancelotti loses tomorrow, I think it depends how he loses. So I think if he gets smashed, I think that the media and the fans are definitely turning against him. They're gonna ask for his head no matter what. Yeah. I think that if Real Madrid give a good match, give a good performance, and they give Barca a good run for the money but still lose, I think that they would
wait for the end of the season.
They'll probably wait. They'll be like, you know what, let's just wait until the end of the season, or let's just wait until the next Clásico. We could probably get them in the next Clásico, and we could probably take the league. So that's why I think it depends how if Real Madrid lose, of course, how they lose tomorrow. So that's what it's dependent on. That's why I was telling you that I think Ancelotti's going to go with the 4-4-2 because he said it. He's already said it too.
But he feels better with that 4-4-2.
He likes the 4-4-2 better because he gives you more defensive, capabilities. It helps, with the defenders and not do so much of the work. So I think he's going with that formation. So he doesn't want to get smashed, and rightly so. His reputation is on the line, bro. So, but I think if Real Madrid and Ancelotti lose tomorrow, if I were Ancelotti, and this is what I think, because I think Ancelotti should have left last season on a high horse.
And this is, sorry to interrupt, but this is you saying, and I think both you and I have the same opinion, just like we have with Simeone, right? Mm-hmm. There's only so much a coach can do for a club, and
there's only so much you can win at a club.
Yeah, and there's that saying, right? I keep forgetting who said that saying, but it said,
Luis Enrique said that.
For the player. No. There was another footballer. He said, leave the game before the game leaves you.
Oh, I think maybe Rio Ferdinand.
I think it was Rio Ferdinand, right? But I also think that applies for coaches.
Yeah, and Luis Enrique said it too. You know, sometimes the players, even if it's the same message, they just want to hear it from somebody else.
Yeah.
They just want to hear it from a different coach. So I think Ancelotti, in my opinion, he should have left last season. Last season was a good season for him to leave. He won the Champions League. He won the league. He beat Barca in both Clásicos, if I'm not mistaken. So that would have been a perfect time for him to leave. But he's here now, you know. So I think regardless of what happens tomorrow, I think he should go. He should already announce that this is gonna be his last season, and he should voluntarily leave on his own, because if not, there is the risk that they can kick him out.
I think Ancelotti should announce. In my opinion, I agree with you 100%. I don't think Ancelotti's a bad coach. I actually think that Pep Guardiola and him are kind of pretty much the two best coaches right now in the game.
I think so.
It's just about becomes professionals. We've talked about that, right? Mm-hmm. To get that out of the way, right? Now, I think that Ancelotti is in the same predicament as Pep Guardiola. Maybe not as much as Pep Guardiola, because I don't think that City can go ahead and say, oh, we're going to go get rid of Pep Guardiola, the only guy who's giving us a Champions League, right?
Yeah.
But
Real Madrid... And also the pressure, because I don't think City put as much pressure to their coaches as Real Madrid does.
No, because Real Madrid historically has won a lot without Ancelotti, right? Mm-hmm. So, this is not me saying that Ancelotti hasn't won anything for Real Madrid, because he's won a lot for Real Madrid. But with that being said, right, I feel that Ancelotti is in the same predicament maybe as Pep Guardiola or Cholo, where maybe they should have left last season or some seasons ago. Guardiola for sure should have left when he won the Champions League for City, or if not, when he won the 4th Premier League in a row.
Yeah.
Right? And FC Simeone, I think he's in the same boat now, where maybe fans are starting to say, hey, you know what? Like we need a change. We need a better coach. You know, we're spending money. Me and you talked about that as well. We're spending almost 200 million a season, you know, for new players, and we're still getting eliminated by Real Madrid. The way we're going out, the mindset doesn't change. Whatever. Yeah. Now, going to Real Madrid with Ancelotti, I think that, you know, whether, yes, he wins or not, I think that he should leave. But I think me being Ancelotti, is I would announce it after El Clásico of La Liga.
Yeah, I agree with you too.
Because you also, like, let's say that Real Madrid loses against Barcelona in La Liga Clásico. I think he can kind of relieve some pressure for himself. Kind of what Xavi did at the time when he said, hey, you know what, guys, I'm going to leave at the end of the season. Or if he wins, he can also use that as a form of motivation to motivate the players to be like, hey, you know what, guys, I'm going to leave. Let's end with a big hoorah. Let's try to win a league. Whether we lose or not, let's go out there and give it our best.
Yeah, I think even if he wins tomorrow, let's say he beats Barca tomorrow, even if he wins, I still think he should make that announcement.
I don't think he should, just because you still have El Clásico to play in La Liga.
But even if, like you said, even if you have that Clásico to play for, you know, you can tell the players, hey, you know what, we won this cup. This might be the last cup that I win with you guys. You know, let's finish the season on a
That's true too.
Let's finish the season on a good season. You know, let's do our best for the next Clásico. Motivate the players to do better for the Clásico, right? So I think even if he wins tomorrow, bro, I think he should voluntarily go and say, this is my last season at Real Madrid, because the writing is on the wall. Yeah. The writing is on the wall, dude. So eventually, if he doesn't do that, they're gonna kick him out, because you know they're looking at Xabi Alonso too as the next coach. So those rumors are out, and that's what I was going to
say too. I was going to say that I think that if Ancelotti does leave, I think that Real Madrid already know that they're going to pretty much sign out Xabi Alonso. I think that Xabi Alonso didn't come last season from Leverkusen because he got them in the Champions League, right? Mm-hmm. And I think he wanted to kind of like test the waters with them. That unfortunately didn't do as good, you know, with them. But I also think that I personally believe that Xabi Alonso will probably do Real Madrid good, bro.
I think so too. You know, and you know, it sucks to say, bro, but in my opinion, bro, this is all Mbappe's fault. Because think about it, bro. The guy, he gets coaches fired left and right. If Ancelotti gets fired, bro, it's because of Mbappe. It's the Mbappe curse. I'm saying it right now. It's the Mbappe curse. Whatever team he goes to, the coach gets fired.
I mean, you know what? That's a whole different video. But you know what, bro? Me and you have talked about Mbappe. We have different views about Mbappe.
Yeah.
But I don't disagree with your take on it. You know, Luis Enrique, you know, historically has said it. But I mean, we can. I don't know. We could probably say that for another video. You know, with the whole Mbappe thing.
Yeah, we'll save that towards the end of the season, bro, to kind of talk about him, his first thing. Real Madrid. But you know, I was gonna tell you real quick. You know that I was looking at the history at the video, the history from the Copa del Rey. You know that Barca made it to the Copa del Rey final, I think 4 or 5 years in a row.
Really?
2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. 5 years in a row. They made it to the Copa del Rey final. How many have they won in those 5 years? They won 4 out of 5. They lost the one in 2019 with Valverde, where that could have been a treble winning season, but they lost that 4-0 loss to Liverpool really screwed them over. That killed the treble. hopes and
I think at the 4-0 with Liverpool, I think Barcelona were
they were done already. But they actually made it to the Copa del Rey final 5 seasons in a row, bro. That's actually not a bad
record.
It's not a bad record, and they won it again with Messi to his last Copa del Rey final. It was in 2022, I think, or 2021, on the Coman. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's when all the players lined up to take a picture with Messi.
Yeah, they actually won the Copa del Rey final with him. So Barca's successful. Historically, they do good in a Copa del Rey final. So maybe that's good luck for Barca tomorrow.
So to recap, just to finish it off real quick, Barcelona wins tomorrow.
I think
so too. Still alive?
I think Barcelona win because of the form that both teams are in. But like I said, one thing that I did tell you and I wanted to mention is that unfortunately, the more times you play a team, the more likelihood that you're gonna lose or tie one of those games. There's 4 games that they're gonna play against Real Madrid this season. They've already won 2, so there's 2 remaining. I think they're gonna tie or lose one of those 2.
I hope that if they do, it's not tomorrow.
Me too.
It's a final, bro.
I'm hoping it's not tomorrow, but I think so. I think that they are, bro. And I'm going just based on Barca's season so far. Against Atletico Madrid, they played 4 games. They lost 1, they won 2, and they tied 1.
Yeah.
Out of the 4 games.
Well, the same thing happened in 2010. You remember when Barcelona eliminated Real Madrid in the Champions League semifinal?
Same thing. I think they won the first one 5-0. They lost the Copa del Rey final. They won at the Bernabeu the Champions League first leg of the semifinals. They tied the second leg, and then they tied the 5th game at the Bernabeu, the Clásico.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm telling you, bro. It's like, teams get to know each other. So that's why I'm hoping not, but I do think that Real Madrid are gonna win or tie at least one of those games.
But is the treble alive?
The treble's still alive.